Hello and welcome to Ace TCG. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at the Lightning Paw errata and explaining some of the possible reasoning behind this. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into this. So firstly, I want to thank Kyber Corp. These are someone that I've only just started working with. They make fantastic translations of what the changes are, and they make some really nice art. Also, they have a store, so please check them out. They are very, very generous and let me use these. So these are the changes. This is Lightning Paw. I have used this card in a lot of my yellow decks because I really, really enjoy this card. And the change out is actually quite small. And right now seems like, why would you do this? But like after some explaining, you might understand a little bit behind it. So with Lightning Paw, it used to have the effect of a 3-cost option card that said main effect, up to 3 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon get minus 4000 DP for the turn. So the errata has changed that main effect now to specifically state 3 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon get minus 4000 DP for the turn. Although this change might seem like very small and the only things that have actually been removed are the words up to, this actually removes a lot of choice. So some things around this card that people still are a little bit like don't really understand. So a lot of people are now thinking, so does that mean if my opponent doesn't have 3 rookies, they can't cast this card? No. In the Digimon TCG, you complete as much of a skill as possible. So, for example, there is a 1-cost options card called Hornbuster for green. You don't have to have a green card to actually you don't actually have to have a Digimon out to target it. So Hornbuster gives plus 3000 DP to one of your Digimon, but you cast that card and you can use as much as possible. As long as you have like a green tamer or a green baby, you can still cast that card, and you would do that situation so that you can put your opponent to 1 memory if you were on 0. Now with Lightning Paw, it works in a very similar way, whereas your opponent now doesn't have to, they don't have to have 3 rookies out to be able to activate this effect. So what are the main changes that this brings to the table? Now the main thing that it stops is option. You have a little bit less option, and how you used to be able to do it is because it's stated up to, you could choose to remove 2 of your opponent's rookies if they had more than that. And in some scenarios, which I'll show you now, this could be quite useful. Okay, so this is on Tabletop Simulator, and this is a little scenario of how the old Lightning Paw used to work compared to how the changes to Lightning Paw now have changed it. So as we can see here, our opponent is playing purple, and they have a 2-cost rookie out, a Gabumon with an inherited effect that won't go off, and they have a Impmon which has a on destruction effect of discard 3 cards from the top of your deck. So before the errata, you used to be able to choose, okay, so I have Lightning Paw in hand. I used to be able to think, okay, so my opponent has 3 rookies out. Is it worth me destroying this Impmon now and giving them even more opportunity to add it to the trash? So right now in the game, I would always still do this. My opponent can just swing this at security and still like get this on destruction because it's only 1000 anyway, and still get value from that. So that's why the Lightning Paw change right now doesn't feel that very strong, and it's like a bit confusing because I'd still always want to destroy all 3 of these with this Lightning Paw. I'd still want to go, okay, that's so much value just being able to get rid of this, and it stops my opponent from having an additional card out. So with the new change now, even if I didn't want to kill a Impmon, I have to remove as much of the card skill as possible. And where this matters is if my opponent instead has like another one of these out, at this stage I can choose. It says choose 3. 3 of your opponents get minus 4, so that's still your choice. So you could choose these 3 and get rid of them if you wanted to do that, which is cool. It's still a decent card and still right now does things. So you might be thinking, why is this errata happening then? Why is this? And all I can say is that Bandai has done a really good job at trying to balance things out so far. Well, yellow is extremely strong, but when they make erratas and when they've done this, so they've been doing a really solid job. So what this could mean is that they're looking at making more on deletion effect rookies, and they don't want yellow to have the opportunity to not destroy them if it comes to that, because that might be a little bit too much option in the future. And whether that's the case or not, I'm sure Bandai has a plan for something like that in the future. Overall, not a very huge change, but definitely something that you need to be aware of if you're playing Lightning Paw, or if you're playing against an opponent playing Lightning Paw and they try to only kill 2 of your rookies when you have 3 out. Of course, in a lot of scenarios, you'd rather them just remove 2 of them instead of the 3, but at the end of the day, that is the new errata. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and please give a like and a subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks.